Hello everybody! Today we're going to be talking about Ireland and more importantly why Irish eyes aren't smiling right now. Before we get into the meat of it, I just want to do like a little editorial kind of aside. The English, and I make the distinction here between the English and the rest of the home nations, the English brutalized Ireland for centuries, right? I mean, I think people tend to forget that before there was the global British Empire, the English had been shitting all over Ireland for centuries already. So it's kind of a real sick, twisted poetic justice that it now seems to be the Irish who are calling the shots and kind of hold the future of the UK in their hands. Just a little aside there. Yesterday was a really busy, hectic day in Brussels. A lot happened. I'm going to tell you about it right now. So it looked as if yesterday we were going to kind of have movement on a deal regarding the border in Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. To that end, the Maybot had gone to Brussels to meet up with Jean-Claude Juncker. They had this kind of 3-hour working lunch, but kind of halfway through the lunch, we get an announcement from Stormont. The helmet-haired homophobe, Arlene, who's the leader of the DUP, appears to make a statement to the awaiting press. Now, this is where it gets a bit complicated. Bear with. So she stands on the steps of Stormont and she talks about how there can be no regulatory divergence for Northern Ireland from the rest of the UK. Now, what that means is Northern Ireland has to exit the EU on exactly the same terms as the rest of the country, because one of the solutions to this border problem was maybe that Northern Ireland was going to adhere to EU law so that frictionless trade could still occur over the border. But they don't want that to happen because they see it as kind of stepping one step closer politically to a unified Ireland. And they don't want that because they want to stay with mommy because daddy wears too much green and I don't like hurling. So, halfway through this meeting with Juncker, May has to step out to take a call from Arlene. She takes the call, she goes back into the meeting, and then the assembled press, waiting for this announcement, Teresa and Jean-Claude come onto stage, and basically the announcement is that there is no announcement. The talks have been scuppered by the DUP saying, hold on a minute. Well, why is this so bad, right? Well, first of all, it shows how completely weak and inept the Maybot's negotiating position is. The DUP and the Tories are supposed to be on the same side. They're supposed to be negotiating for the same thing, but one hand doesn't know what the other's doing. It's also a massive slap in the face to Ireland, whose government had signed off on this deal and they thought it was all hunky-dory and good to go. Apparently not. It's also incredibly worrying because the decision on whether or not sufficient progress has been made up to this point for us to move on to the next round of talks is occurring in 9 days at a summit in Brussels. Now, every EU country has to okay the agreement that we can move on to the next phase of talks. That means in 9 days, they have to get over this problem with the DUP, send the agreement to all 27 EU capitals. Their governments have to look at it and say, yeah, this is all fine. Send it back, and then that has to happen in 9 days. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. So May is now faced with this kind of Sophie's choice. She can either side with Arlene, she can keep her mouth firmly sewed onto the foster rectum, channeling that £1 billion worth of magic money tree up into the DUP small intestine, and we can have a hard Brexit disaster, or she can say fuck you to Arlene, walk away, and kind of adhere to the EU laws for Northern Ireland and give it special treatment. In cue Nicola Sturgeon and Sadiq Khan in 3, 2, 1. Because if Northern Ireland is going to receive special treatment, then so should Scotland, so should London, so should Wales. It is a Pandora's box, and it's one I'm glad I am not having to deal with. So that's that. And we can't really do all that much about that. That's just going to play out how it plays out. What we can do is stand up for citizens' rights, because nobody seems to be talking about that. We hear a lot of talk in the press and on the news about the divorce bill and Ireland, both of which are very important, of course, but there are 5 million people here in limbo waiting to know what their future rights are going to be. So, and the only body that seems to be looking out for us is the European Parliament, which can exercise a veto on moving on to the next stage. So it's really, really important that we support the work of the Parliament who are looking out for the people, the innocent people, hello, namely me, caught up in this nonsense. So today's homework is to write to your MEP or MEPs. And also, I think it would be a great idea if you wrote to Guy Verhofstadt and Sophie In 't Veld, who are kind of leading lights in the anti-Brexit movement in Parliament. And they're doing sterling work, and we need to support them and encourage them in everything that they're doing, because this is really, really, really crunch time now, okay? So I'm going to post a letter that I've written in the comment section here. I'll give you the web address, which gives you the address of your MEPs, the email address rather of your MEPs, and of Guy and Sophie. It literally takes 2 minutes. You enter your postcode, it gives you a list of your MEPs, you click on them, you paste the letter, you send. Done. So please, please take 3 minutes out of your day and show some solidarity. Because I think everybody's New Year's resolution, I know it's not quite New Year, but it's almost New Year. Everybody's New Year's resolution should be to become more politically active. It's not hard to do, and it will make the world a better place. I'm already quite politically active, so my New Year's resolution is simply to resist the surgeon's knife for yet another year. That's it for today. Please get involved. Please write that letter. We really need your help. Peace!